Hello, I am here with Barb Dopp from Idaho, one of the top agents and a top team builder, great leader. And Barb, well, you've been part of the inner circle for the last year, and here you signed up again this year. What happened that made you want to sign up again?
So, Diana, a lot of times when I sign up for opportunities to grow, you don't know at the beginning what it is exactly that you're even missing. And this year, what I found in the connections that were made was opportunities to think differently about money, to think differently about wealth, to think differently about my leadership and my growth. Just as I've grown my business, it's had a lot of different stages, and the stage I'm at now is different than what I had when I went to Bold or those things in the past. So now it's about leadership and growing who I am as a person for this next phase. And I'm not done yet. That's why I'm here another year.
Well, and the interesting part, Simon Sinek says that we have to keep learning leadership. It's something that you never stop studying. And I can't imagine learning it from anyone more than the guru of leadership. Yes, you need other people to learn from. Believe me, he is not the only leader, yet he's known as the guru of leadership. And he's literally written so many books on leadership. I mean, about 100. You'd think he knows something, right? So what are some of your favorite things that you learned that maybe you implemented that helped your real estate and leadership career?
So the first thing that John introduced to us, or that I recollect, we talked about high road leadership. And from the very beginning, I read that book in preparation for Inner Circle. And then as John came on, I signed up additionally for his online certification of that. And and our leadership team read that book together. We read it and discussed the chapter every single week. And then we went through the certification with the videos that John presented it. So we really went through that book twice. We could probably go through it every 3 to 6 months. And, I think one of the things I was thinking about is on our leadership journey, just like everything else, it's different because we're leading different people all the time. People come and go, and the people that you lead grow. So there's new questions to ask. There's new opportunities to grow that I hadn't considered before because it's a new way. And to listen to John teach and the years and years and years of experience, and you just don't know how long you will be able to sit at the foot of one of the master teachers in leadership. So I'm on a path and on purpose to grow in that aspect for myself and for those around me.
It's interesting because a lot of people, they go, "Oh, I'd heard I'll do it next year." There won't be a next year. I mean, I said I would do it for 2 years. I was going to do it for 1, and then everybody talked me into doing it for 2. And we decided to open up a few more spots. And many, like you, have decided to keep going because you learn so much. It's so rich.
Right.
You come with a question every time. You always ask a question. And I love that about you. What does that mean to be in a group of 34 people with John, being able to ask your question all the time? Sometimes a couple of questions throughout the Zoom.
The wealth that you gain from being in a collaborative learning environment. Now, you can read a book. It's not collaborative. When you hear other people's perspectives based on the question they ask and the answer that John gives, and to be treated as you are treated by John, and you also, Diana, that example of how a great leader treats those that are there to learn and to be one of their followers, for lack of a better word, because if there's a leader, there's a follower. Then that learning that example, I listen, like, how did that person respond to me when I asked that question? Do I feel valued? Do I feel important to them? And John is a master at that, to give. I don't know how he does it the world over, but I feel seen and heard in his presence and yours. It's such a remarkable experience.
It really is. And I said Zoom calls, yet we have get-togethers. I mean, like the first one, John is with us for 3 hours,
Wow.
just answering all of our questions. I mean, you're in this little tiny group. He knows you by name. You get to ask the questions that you desire, not just on what he teaches, even though he gives about a 35-minute lesson. For the rest of the time, 3 hours, people are asking about relationships. They had marriage questions. They had business questions, leadership questions, mindset questions. I mean, it was amazing, the amount of teaching. I think that one session was worth it. Yet we had 2 extra events, and we always have a surprise experience. And this last one was quite fun.
So fun. So fun. You know, there's something about learning from a really smart person that maybe has written a book and they're 30 or 40 years old, and something to learn from a person with wisdom that comes through the ages of experience and leadership the world over. So many years and years and years of compounded growth that is clarified and simplified. It's miraculous to me.
Well, and that layered learning upon learning upon learning. And that's how we build, because John gives a call every month, and then myself. And this year I brought on 2 other people that help with generational wealth, making sure all your wealth is watched over and you're setting everything up correctly. And they're also helping the catch strategies, which we all need, right? So we're adding more and more.
I can't afford that or something. It's just such a crazy way to think to me, because what our wealth building has to do with what we are able to keep in the way of profit, and being too restrictive on your growth doesn't allow for you to invest, which then grows your wealth, sometimes by just saving you from losses. Right? It's just a great opportunity.
You know what, Barb, you bring up so many great things, and I love what you're doing, because you even took things beyond, and you're someone that doesn't talk about what you do. You're a very humble person, and I appreciate all that. Yet I just want you to put your humility in your pocket for just a minute, because what you're doing for women right now, I just want you to just briefly talk about that, because this is something that started as a dream, but it has been magnified as a great vision. And I've watched you grow throughout this last year in your leadership, in your business sense, and watching every single time. You've never missed a call. You've never missed an event. And so let's look at that and tell us about what you're doing to help women.
You know, Dianna, our life needs to have purpose and direction. And I've learned through my growth in real estate a lot from you in that growth and giving and abundance. And I really strive to stay in the presence of growth leaders. And my vision and purpose used to serve a group, and I feel like I satisfied that in some ways. And that was my purpose for growing wealth at the time. And about 4 years ago, my daughter, who is in recovery, she had a vision of having homes for women in recovery that desired to live a sober lifestyle. And so 4 years ago, kind of from a selfish purpose, we needed to buy a home to save money on taxes. And then we used it for that purpose. And as the years went, the timing wasn't, we could have bought more houses, I guess. The timing just wasn't right to do it again. And while I was in the inner circle this year, the timing, several things came together and allowed us to buy a second home and now a third home and help others get to participate in that. So now that nonprofit is able to house 52 women. And we can see through conversations that I've had with the inner circle people, it wasn't on the agenda. it was in conversations while we were together that they're saying, oh my gosh, Barb, this is so much bigger than you think it is. And allowed me to be able to go, oh gosh, how else could we do this to really grow it, to bless the lives of a lot of other people? And that's the transition from what we thought it was important to really transitioning into significance that really is a life of joy and abundance when you can bless the lives of other people.
Isn't that the truth? A lot of people don't get that generosity really comes back to us 10, 100-fold. I mean, you just can't outgive what you get back. It just is so great. And I love that the inner circle helped you with that. And all the different speakers, because we had different ones at the events, like Cool Runnings, Devin Harris, who started the Jamaican bobsled team. And then he pushed us when we went down the bobsled of the Olympians, right? And going 4Gs around those corners, and 180 degrees. I mean, I don't know about you, but my head was like bonging on the side. That was yours. Yeah, it was like,
no, even with your head bobbing, they told you there was a way to not have it bob, which is just great leadership to be able to. And then if you don't implement, you're just going to bang your head against the wall. So take the opportunity and get around people that have been before you that can help clear the path and mark the way for your vision for what you desire to get it faster or go further or whatever. You're just going to have more together than you do alone.
And you know, it was so interesting because when they said, put your shoulders up and put it against the sides, I could just barely hit the sides. And so going like this and I was like hitting it with my elbows because it was bigger than I was. And it was so fun though. Oh my God.
So
what a rush. I mean, I got to ask you though, was it outside your comfort zone to begin with?
It was. I mean, they are rightfully so tell you the risks and the things. And I'm kind of like, I'm not really a go for the high kind of person. You know, I'm kind of a play things safe. And I've learned to push myself outside of the comfort zone because I think, okay, well, I trust you. And I think, well, Dianna wouldn't put us in a situation that's really going to be too dangerous for us. And so I trust the process to have the experiences that allow me to just solidify different things in my brain and how I go about things.
Well, and we didn't make people. We didn't make people go down it. It was totally up to you.
By choice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we did things like golfing with the pros. I mean, these were PGA championship that taught golf. Even though a lot of us don't golf, it was a lot of fun learning all those things. And of course, they gave us all those sheets of paper that I brought back and I gave to my golfing friends and they were going, holy moly, where'd you get all these things? This is awesome, right? And then of course, all those little special events, exercises outside our comfort zone, and the speakers going.
Well, you get to experience it, but then a lot of times if you're leading a business, you don't get to be treated like the student very often. You don't get to be the person put in a special situation because you're the one striving to make that happen, whether it's for your family or for your team. Or your community, you're the one that's giving all the time. And to be able to be the person in the receiver seat that really just learns, what am I going to bring back so that I can elevate my leadership? But for a moment, you get to be the guest, which is like an awesome place to be.
You know, I love that you said that because I think that's important. And we worked diligently to treat people with such dignity and respect. I mean, you had limousines in Salt Lake. Now, the first one, that bus driver was a little funny. That's why I took the front seat because everybody was going, oh, he's
scary. That they wanted to pay that driver to come and show up in Salt Lake, but I'm glad they didn't.
I wanted him to. I just wanted to say, hey, I brought him back for you guys. But to be with Chad Highness, and to be on his ranch, 660 acres, and drive those cars around the
helicopter. Like, yeah, I've never done that before. When do you get to fly in a helicopter and just see stuff? That was
shot the rockets off. That was fun, shooting rockets. And then we went on that helicopter roller coaster that I've never been in a helicopter that you went up and then you went backwards. I mean, it was like, oh, wow, did it and if you didn't scream, he would do even more tricks. He was a firefighter. Is where I found him. He's an actual helicopter firefighter. So they know how to dodge and, go up the peaks and go back down and make that helicopter do things that you just can't even imagine. And all these fun things that we did, but more importantly, we got to know each other. Yeah. Got to know and chat. And how could you not go for Vespa, starting out with someone that has been in a wheelchair due to an accident, that has never let life stop him? He travels by himself. He does things. He is so amazing. Yeah. And I just love that about him. And it was a great way to start.
Each one of the participants that you've got in the inner circle bring a wealth of experiences as well. They may be someone who's, notable publicly, but a lot of times it's in the very quietness of their own leadership, their own challenges and struggles that we find strength. And you do give opportunity for us to have that space and time to connect with each other that's not scripted. And there've been powerful things learned in that moment. And the way that you treat other people allows us to learn and take that away and treat those around us in a like way.
It's fun to exceed expectations, and that's what we work to do. The next one starts October 15th. I know you're going to be there at our dinner, and then right there in Atlanta with John and Ben for 3 hours. Why do you think people should join the inner circle?
When I was considering, and I have options, we all do, there's a lot of things we could participate in. And I really gave thought and said, how many more years or opportunities would I ever get to learn directly from John Maxwell in a small group setting?
Yeah.
Really, for very little money. Like, I've paid that much money to have a one-time experience with someone, So to really look at it that way, I mean, John's, I don't know, isn't he close to 80 or something? I mean, yes, he's not going to teach and do this forever. And so I just said that is an opportunity that would be a mistake for me to not do it. And you don't even know why you're going to be there. But if you feel the least little bit like you're curious, just do it. Dianna, you're that level also for me to have the wisdom and teaching for so many years, year after year, layered on top, the experiences that you've had for good and bad. It doesn't matter. We learn from all of those. The work you've done in writing a book and doing that research, I haven't done that. To be able to learn from somebody who just gave a TED talk, I'm like, that's a brave thing to do. Good for you. Like, I just know for me that I want to put myself in the way of growth and learning, and why not do it? Go to the top of the learning curve.
Well, I appreciate that. And, you become like the people you hang out with. And so for 28 years, I've been hanging out with John Maxwell. And therefore, that leadership does ooze into you. And of course, the people that we report to matter, and all the things that happen in our life matter, and we learn from everything. Here's something, though, if you're wondering, if people are listening to this, watching this, whatever, it is $1,500 a month. It's not that much. You get literally an hour with John every single month. And it's a teaching for 30 minutes, then Q&A. And with the small group, that's the thing I love about this. Because you can go here, John. You can go pay. Well, you could be certified for, $4,000 and sit in a room with 3,900 people. And you get to hear him, and that's great. But to be in a room with 34 other folks, I mean, that is
ask the questions that are relevant to you in your life and get a one-on-one thoughtful answer that that if you follow the things that he says are probably going to bless your life and make a lot more money than that.
A lot. And we help hold each other accountable too,
Yes.
And you get to talk about what you're doing. You get to mastermind with other people. And 2 Zoom calls a month, 3 events, all covered with the 1,500 breakfast, lunch, dinners at the events. Sometimes we let you go out on dinner on your own because a lot of you asked for it. That's what we did last time, one dinner on your own.
Great.
And it's great. It's been fun having you in the inner circle. We welcome other people. There's only 34 seats. So don't hesitate. Barb, you're right. I played one time. I was asked if I wanted to go to Jack Nicklaus' house and play golf with him. And so when you think about that and you go, wow, I actually get to go to somebody's house that has done the things that she has done. There's Jack Nicholson, who's the actor, and I wanted to make sure I said it right. So I had an opportunity. I was called by John Maxwell, and he said, hey, we're doing a fundraiser. You could play golf with Jack Nicklaus, take lessons with him, and go to his house with him and Barbara to dinner, right? And we're only going to have a maximum of 10 people. I went, oh, wow. I mean, he's not getting any younger, right? And so I'm like you, Barb. I'm going, okay, how much longer is he going to be around? And am I going to get this kind of an opportunity again? And it was literally $100,000. I mean, it was like, okay, it's a fundraiser though. So let's figure out what we can do and how we can do this thing. Well, I said to Tony, he's not getting any younger. And Connie said, that's exactly why you have to do it. 1, maybe helping people with a fundraiser. 2, we don't golf. So we took my son with me and he got to golf with him. And we got to go to their house, all 3 of us, for dinner. And then Jack actually signed a Masters, a real flag from the Masters, not one of those fake ones that you can buy in various places. This was actually off of the flag at the Masters on a hole, and he signed it for us to us and gave 2 of us that flag. Now, I tell you, I hesitated, and it didn't take long to answer myself with what you did. He's not going to be around that much longer. Yeah. And I don't know. I hope that John...
It's not that he's failing and he acts old. That is not at all. It's just the reality of how long is a person going to continue to do what he does at the pace that he does. And, but the quality and the clarity that he brings is in his prime.
Well, and when you say, see, it's not that John's old. Is he going to keep doing this for a group of 34 people? He can spend that time doing it for a group of 500, for 1,000. He doesn't need to do it for this itty, tiny group that I want. I want a small group. That's how I got to know John. It was in his first mentorship, Inner Circle, where there were 13 other people and myself. That was it. Now, the next year, he went up to about 22, and then he stopped doing it.
Yeah.
2 years. So if the pattern goes, this will be our last year. So we invite you.
We have a bunch of things to choose from this year, like choose the Inner Circle. It's a great experience. It's a great experience. Say yes. Yeah. Yes always says yes to abundance.
You know what? Isn't that the truth? And you can't give what you don't have. So come learn with us. Come have fun with us. And there's so many people that have doubled their income, doubled their giving. And look at you, Barb. You've added more homes to helping more people. I love that. Not to mention how great your business is going. So thank you for your time. Thanks, everybody that's been this to us. And if you have any questions, just go to diannak.com, DIANNAK.com, and you'll get all the information there. Okay. Thanks, Barb, so much.
All right.